Poetry for Dummies, a step-by-step guide into understanding poetry. Step 1. Pick a poem. I chose There Will Be No Peace by W.H. Auden. Though mild clear weather, smile again on the shore of your esteem. And its colors come back. The storm has changed you. You will not forget, ever, the darkness blotting out hope, the gale prophesizing your downfall. You must live with your knowledge, way back, beyond, outside of you are others, in moonless absences you never heard of, who have certainly heard of you, beings of unknown number and gender, and they do not like you. What have you done to them? Nothing? Nothing is not an answer. You will come to believe, how can you help it, that you did do something. You will find yourself wishing you could make them laugh. You will long for their friendship. There will be no peace. Fight back, then, with such courage as you have, in every unchivalry dodge you know of, clearing your conscience on this. Their cause, if they had one, is nothing to them now. They hate for hate's sake. Step 2. Get to know the author. Wystan Hugh Auden. He was born on February 21, 1907, and passed away on the 29th of September in 1973 at the age of 66. He was third of 3 children, all boys. From the age of 8, he attended boarding schools, and although at first he thought he would become an engineer, his passion for literature soon overcame that idea. He chose to publish his work under W.H. Auden instead of using his full name. He was an Anglo-American poet who was born in York, England, but later became an American citizen. He was regarded by many as one of the greatest writers of the 20th century. He grew up in Birmingham and read English literature at Christ Church in Oxford. He worked with a man named Christopher Isherwood, who was his literary mentor, to whom he sent poems for comments and criticism, and it was said that they fell in love, and in the 1930s they maintained a sexual friendship in intervals between their relations with others. His early poetry, written in the late 1920s and early 1930s, were written in an intense dramatic tone, and this established his reputation as a left-wing political poet, although this reputation made him feel very uncomfortable, and he chose to change his poetry style when he moved to America in 1946. His poetry in the 1940s explored religious and ethnical themes, but in a less dramatic manner, and his poetry in the 1950s to 1960s focused mainly on the role words can have in revealing concealed emotions. He was also a writer of essays and reviews on literary, political, psychological, and religious subjects, and he worked at various times on documentary films, political plays, and other forms of performance. His friends uniformly described him as funny, extravagant, sympathetic, generous, and partly by his own choice, lonely. He was known as being both influential and controversial through his career, and after his death, some of his poems, such as Funeral Blues, became widely recognized through films, broadcasts, and other popular media. Auden published around 400 poems, and he also wrote more than 400 essays and reviews on literature, history, politics, music, and religion. Step 3. Analyze the poem. You can start by looking at the form of the poem. W.H. Auden's poetry was well known for its variety of tone, form, and content. This specific poem was written in a free verse style with no consistent meter patterns, rhyme, or any other musical pattern. He did, however, choose to write this poem with 4 stanzas, each containing 6 lines. Next, you can interpret the text. My interpretation of the poem is, though it seems like everything is okay, and you smile through it and own your self-esteem, you get back up on your feet, but you aren't the same. You will not forget, you're permanently affected. There's darkness blocking hope of things going back to the way they were. They're mocking your pain. You're bound to the memory. Everything is beyond your control, but in existence. There's darkness that you're not aware of, but they are aware of you. You don't even know these attackers, or how many there may be, but you know they do not like you. You don't know the cause. You try to find the answer, but there is no answer. You will fall into their way of thinking that you did something wrong. You will seek their approval, and will want to fit in as their friends. But they will not give you a choice. So you feel forced to defend yourself, in any way you can, knowing you had no choice, for their cause is not reasonable and means nothing to them. They hate for hate's sake. Next, you can look at the themes. The central themes of his poetry are love, politics, and citizenship, religion and morals, and the relationship between unique human beings and the anonymous, impersonable world of nature. Themes directly related to this poem are paranoia, which is the excessive suspicion of the motives of others and mistrust of people or their actions without evidence or justification. Paranoia is definitely a theme for this poem, for the author shows that the victim is very affected by the hatred thrown upon them, and it continuously causes them to question what they could have done wrong, and suspect people of hating them, although they don't even know who these people are. Hatred is another theme, for this poem illustrates how individuals can fall victim to unwarranted abuse driven by unjustified hatred. The author shows that the victim does not know what they have done to deserve or to be treated this way, and that they fight to try and figure out what it is they did to deserve it. The title of the poem, There Will Be No Peace, is used to emphasize the theme of disturbance. Peace itself means the freedom from disturbance. Giving the poem this title, There Will Be No Peace, represents the ongoing disturbance that the character is experiencing. Symbols and imagery. Mild, clear weather. This gives us the image of a nice calm day and represents the person's state of mind as being calm and collected, free of stress and worry. The storm that they talk about when the author says, "The storm has changed you," symbolizes danger and destruction that the victim is experiencing. Storms can also symbolize the attacker's need for power over the victim. When they say moonless absences, this gives us an image of darkness. Step 4. Think about it. Essential questions. You can think of different questions such as, how much should we really worry about the opinions others have about us? Why do we constantly feel the need to fit in and be liked? Why do people attack others? And is it okay to fight back if we are just trying to defend ourselves? Step 5. Personal and textual connections. I feel that this song perfectly fits in with the emotions being expressed in the poem. I know that everybody at least at one point in their lives has felt attacked and upset, and they really just want to fix things and make that uncomfortable feeling go away. The song expresses that they do not know what they have done or what went wrong, and because of this they feel a huge weight on their shoulders. The chorus then goes on to say how much they want to fix things and get back on their feet, but it's difficult when they are feeling down. The song then goes to say that they throw fists in the air and accept that life isn't fair. This connects with the last stanza of the poem when the author says, sometimes it's necessary to just fight back, but then you have to realize that sometimes things just can't be fixed. You just have to move on with your life.
What have I done? I wish I could run away from this ship going under. Just trying to help, hurt everyone else. Now I feel the weight of the world is on my shoulders. What can you do when your good isn't good enough? When all that you touched I must down. 'Cause my best intentions keep making a mess of things. I just wanna fix it somehow. But how many times will it take? Or how many times will it take for me to get it right? To get it right. Can I start again with my fate again? 'Cause I can't go back and undo this. I just have to stay and face my mistakes. But if I get stronger and wiser, I'll get through this. So I'll throw up my fist, throw a punch in the air, and accept the truth that sometimes life isn't fair.
Also, make sure that you record any websites that you got any information from in your bibliography. And that's it.